Cardinals embark on their 10th season in University of Phoenix Stadium. Their home has been good to them. Here they've reached heights that may have only been a mirage before. Success brings expectations, high ones. Bruce Arians' 2015 Cardinals speak of lofty goals, perhaps most importantly, winning the NFC West and playing in front of the Red Sea come playoff time. But first things first, preparing for the long haul of the NFL schedule in football's toughest division. Chiefs, Cardinals. The preseason begins tonight.
An 11-win season a year ago and a trip to the playoffs have produced incredible excitement and high expectations for 2015. Well, the wait is over. The Arizona Cardinals are back. Tonight, they open the preseason hosting the Kansas City Chiefs in year 10 of University of Phoenix Stadium. And hi, everybody. Alongside Ron Wolfley, I'm Dave Pasch. One of the storylines tonight, the return of Carson Palmer. Wolf, last year he was 6-0 as a starter before that season-ending knee injury. He's looked terrific in camp, and ask anybody, they'll tell you, for the Cardinals to achieve their goals this year, they need Palmer healthy and playing great.
Absolutely, David. Carson Palmer's got all the talent, all the ability you could possibly want as a quarterback, but what has impressed me over the last 2 years the most, his intangibles. Talk about his football IQ. This is a guy that understands the offense and has command of it the way B.A. does. Talk about his work ethic, a guy that shows up, first one in, one of the last to leave. Talk about his professionalism. This is a guy that is accountable and dependable, and you talk about his toughness as well, something that I think gets overlooked when you talk about Carson Palmer. He's played with pain and through pain on a regular basis, and I think it's one of the reasons why, all of that wrapped together, he's one of the undisputed leaders of that locker room.
One of the stars of the offense, certainly. One of the stars for the Cardinals defensively is Patrick Peterson, who made his 4th Pro Bowl last year, but he would tell you he didn't have his best season. It was later announced that he was playing while battling diabetes. Now, he's got that under control, and he feels the sky's the limit for him personally this year, Wolf.
I would agree with that. He has reinvented his body and in the process reinvented himself. The quickness is back. The quickness out of his back pedal is back. The explosion is there. The rubber band hips are back as well. This is a guy that I expect to have a great season for the Arizona Cardinals. He has reinvented himself, and you can see it on the field.
So Patrick Peterson and Carson Palmer's health, just two of the main storylines as we count down to the 2015 regular season opener. Just under a month from now against the New Orleans Saints. But first, the Cardinals kick off the 2015 preseason here at University of Phoenix Stadium. The Cardinals and Chiefs square off after the break.
Arizona Cardinals preseason football is brought to you by University of Phoenix, official education partner of the Arizona Cardinals. Desert Schools Federal Credit Union, we're here for you. Hyundai, proud partner of the Arizona Cardinals. The Room Store, you'll always save more at the Room Store. Dignity Health, hello human kindness. And by Bud Light, the perfect beer for living life by your own playbook.
Welcome back to football, Cardinal fans. One of the great stories in 2015, the fact that Eric Berry, 29 in white for the Kansas City Chiefs, is back playing football. Less than a year after being diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma after a mass was discovered in his chest in November of last year. He played during the season with that, and he's back. Will not start, but will play for the Chiefs tonight.
That's an incredible story, David. I agree with you 100%. Eric Berry, this guy showing intestinal fortitude, loves the game, and when you watch Eric Berry play the game of football, you see an act of love. he engages in the essence of the game, which is to move your frame and do it with malice. Plays the game as a safety in a very physical kind of way. He's a playmaker as well. Much respect to Eric Berry.
Kansas City won the toss and elected to defer, so the Cardinals will receive. Marcus Golden, who has an opportunity to make this team not only as a returner but also as a wide receiver, will get the first crack to touch the football. Britton Golden, who had 4 catches 2 years ago but was on the practice squad for most of last year. We'll see if the Cardinals keep 6 receivers. They certainly are talented at that position, and with the injury to Michael Floyd, not knowing that he'll be back for the start of the regular season, it's even more important that Golden has a good showing here in preseason.
One of the deepest position groups on the Arizona Cardinals, that wide receiver room.
So Cairo Santos will kick off for Kansas City.
Well, the fans are ready, David. We got to go back to that guy, number 69. He's ready to go, mid-season form.
I like how he even had the tape on his helmet, too. He was in full gear. Not returnable, so it will come out to the 20. And Carson Palmer returns. 16-6 as a starter in 2 years with the Cardinals after taking every snap 2 years ago. He missed 10 games last year, but when he played, he was fantastic. Had a quarterback rating of 96. And the Cardinals think with Palmer under center, they have a shot to make it to Super Bowl 50.
Got to protect him. The undisputed heavyweight champion of that locker room, Carson Palmer. You got to protect him. The best way to do that is to get a running game going in 2015.
And also back for the Cardinals after missing a lot of time last year is Andre Ellington, and he starts the game in the backfield. And Palmer to John Brown, who last year had 4 game-winning touchdown catches, an NFL rookie record. And he gets a first down on the first play of preseason.
Well, you watch this, a bunch formation. You got the up-tempo offense going right here. Just an out route to John Brown, and nobody's been able to cover him in training camp.
A pickup of 17 on the first play, and now Ellington gets the carry, and he's brought down after minimal gain. Tackled by Derek Johnson and Tom Bahali. Check tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Bud Light, the perfect beer for living life by your own playbook. And we're going to focus on these 2 guys here. Humphries won't start, but we'll see a lot of him at right tackle with the uncertainty surrounding Bobby Massey, a report that he could be suspended the first 3 games of the regular season. And a catch by Ellington wrapped up out of play after a gain of 2 to the 38.
This is going to be an element of the Arizona Cardinals offense in 2015. This up-tempo, hurry-up offense. It's not quite the flat-out 2-minute, no-huddle type deal. Kind of a hurry-up. You're going to get a little sugar, but now they're actually huddling. I like this. A little change of pace being shown by the Cardinals and Bruce Arians.
So 3rd down and 6 here. This will likely be the only series for Carson Palmer tonight. We'll see Drew Stanton get some work with the starters throughout the first quarter. And Palmer has a ton of time and somehow threads the needle to Ellington. Ellington inside the 20. Ellington brought down at the 5-yard line. Man, Palmer had all day to throw and put it on the money. 57 yards.
Well, the Kansas City Chiefs were jumping around trying to show Carson Palmer a bit of a blitz. They bailed out there at the end, played cover 3 deep, 4 underneath. Andre Ellington ran that bang 8. That's the quick post route. Great protection on a 4-man rush. And if you keep Carson Palmer clean, he's going to hurt you.
Ellington is so good out of the backfield as a receiver. Had an 80-yard touchdown catch against Denver last year. Palmer to J.J. Nelson, a rookie, and he will not make it. Brought down at the 1. Nelson selected in the 5th round out of UAB. He looks a lot like John Brown, but believe it or not, he actually weighs about 20 pounds less than Brown, but he has John's speed.
And what did you nickname him, David? I believe it was
Good Times.
Times.
Yeah, Good Times from JJ from Good Times, who's about as thin as JJ Nelson.
Good Times is having a training camp. This kid can catch the ball.
Ellington will get it and brought down in the backfield. Tripped up by Johnson, who for Kansas City missed most of last year to injury. They had several players on defense that missed time last year. Johnson, excellent pro veteran out of Texas.
You're going to go ahead and run a counter right here. You can see the down blocks. Bobby Massey up there. Not enough movement at the point of attack. Mike Upati's got to do a better job as well. This is the area the Arizona Cardinals need to get better at, running the football in short, third and short, and goal line situations.
They'll keep it on the ground on third down, and Ellington is in for the Arizona touchdown. Missed the final 4 games of last year. Was never healthy during the regular season. And like Carson Palmer, when healthy, he's a key cog for the Cardinals.
Well, you can see the block. Larry Fitzgerald actually got a block, and for his efforts right there, got the face mask of Mike Upati into his back. A great job by Larry. Andre Ellington's going to be a big part of this offense going forward. Absolutely love to see that. The Cardinals need to get better in that situation.
Now, if this is your first time watching any preseason football, you're probably wondering, in case you've been paying attention to the rules, why are they kicking it from so far? That is a new rule. Not just for preseason, but for regular season. Extra points will now be snapped from the 15. So it's basically a 33-yard extra point. And it's no problem for Catanzaro and the Cardinals after an impressive drive with the ones. Get a touchdown from Ellington. Welcome back to our Ford broadcast booth, brought to you by your Arizona Ford dealers. 7-play, 80-yard drive for the Cardinals. Andre Ellington with a rushing touchdown, but the big play was a reception for Ellington, as Carson Palmer, his only drive that he'll get in this game, went 4 of 4 passing for 77 yards.
That is a good start for this offense, wouldn't you say, David?
Terrific. If that's all you're going to see, you want to go out like that. As Niall Davis won't get a chance to return this kickoff by Catanzaro.
Well, Andre Ellington certainly going to be a huge part of what the Arizona Cardinals are going to do. A year ago, BA was going to make him the focal point of this offense. And I think if he's healthy, we're going to see a lot of plays like that out of Andre Ellington. A good job as well running in between the tackles and getting that pig in there.
Ellington, a 6th-round draft choice out of Clemson 2 years ago. He led the NFL in yards per carry. Then last year, as he battled injury, that number went down. Here's Alex Smith, the quarterback for Kansas City, had a very good 2014. Efficient, smart quarterback. First down on the Chiefs 20. And Smith off play action, going to fire it deep. And going for Jeremy Maclin, it's incomplete. They challenged Justin Bethel that time, trying to get a starting spot for the Cardinals at corner.
Jeremy Maclin has had a great training camp for the Kansas City Chiefs. Really has built up some chemistry with Alex Smith. Did not take him long at all to take a shot down the field and test Justin Bethel. Justin did an excellent job of turning around and looking for the ball.
So 2nd and 10. Smith on the rollout, dumping it off to the tight end Travis Kelce. And he has a first down right at the 30-yard line. Take a look at some guys to keep an eye on defensively for the Cardinals. Brought to you by Bud Light. Bethel we talked about, and Marcus Golden, the 2nd-round pick.
Boy, Marcus Golden is a guy that has gotten a lot of attention here in training camp. Everyone talking about his motor, the motor. Man, I love to see a rookie come in and play with that motor.
Here's Niall Davis, and the Cardinals stack him up. Dale Buchanan, who was a first-round pick a year ago out of Washington State, and ended up leading, or was the third leading tackler for the Cardinals, made the hit that time.
Kansas City coming out in an I formation right there, something they'd love to do with Anthony Sherman, their fullback. Get him in the eye and run the power. Fullback kicks out, and man on the line of scrimmage, guard pulls around, Card stuffed it.
Sherman, the former Cardinal, was traded to Kansas City a couple years ago. So no gain officially on that last carry. Davis again in trouble in the backfield on consecutive plays, tackled for a loss, this time of 2. Corey Peters, a new Cardinal, unrestricted free agent signee from the Falcons, on the stop. He replaces Dan Williams at nose tackle for the Cards.
Watch the penetration the Arizona Cardinals get at the point of attack. A great job using his hands right there. Corey Peters gets off the block, makes the play. You see Kevin Minter there as well. Well, that is a good sign against that zone scheme.
So now 3rd down and long, 3rd and 12 at the Chief 28-yard line. Smith, and it's intercepted by the Badger. Tyrann Mathieu inside the 20. There is a penalty marker down. The Cardinals might have been offside. Dan Buchanan was right over the ball as it was snapped. A 25-yard return if it stands for the Honey Badger.
Well, we're going to have to see what the call is here, David, but James Bettcher comes after Alex Smith. You can see the forced throw and the forced error by Alex Smith. The Honey Badger just sitting there watching that brown oblong thing come right to him. That was an easy pick.
They picked the flag up. So no offside, and the Cardinals take over with Drew Stanton in at quarterback now. Kerwin Williams, with a 100-yard rushing game last year, gets the carry. Stood up at the 15, a 3-yard pickup.
See the 2 tight ends personnel group right there. I think we're going to see a lot of tight ends in the mix tonight. BA talking about it the other day in our production meeting, talking about the fact that, you know what, they might keep 5. They feel like they might have 5 tight ends that they're going to keep. We're going to see a lot of tight end action tonight, David.
There was some concern in the offseason that the Cardinals might not have 1 tight end that they could rely on. And as you said, now you've got a handful. That's Ifeanyi Moma in motion. He's number 80. Stanton throws that one into the dirt. Stanton, like Carson Palmer, a knee injury last year late at St. Louis, and he missed the rest of the season. That's why the Cardinals were forced to start Ryan Lindley in the playoffs. But both Stanton and Palmer healthy, and so is Tyrann Mathieu after struggling through a knee injury and other injuries last year.
No, you can see it again, pressure going after a quarterback. It creates confusion, and Alex Smith certainly was confused with his receiver.
So an empty set here for the Cardinals. See if Stanton can pick it up. The Cardinals were 2 of 2 on 3rd down on that first drive. And hard to tell what happened there. If Ali got a hand on Stanton and that altered the throw. Incomplete. It's 4th down.
Well, good pocket protection once again. Very, very good for Drew Stanton right here. DJ Humphries, Arizona Cardinals first-round pick out there at right tackle, doing a good job making the defender run the loop.
And Chandler Catanzaro, who made that long extra point, now will try a field goal. Last year he started the season with 17 consecutive made field goals. Play clock winding down here. No trouble for the Catman. And so the Cardinals lead 10-0 midway through the opening quarter. And a 33-yard field goal by Chandler Catanzaro, and the Cardinals lead 10-0. Bruce Arians has to be pleased with what his offense has done so far. Arians 21-11 in the regular season in 2 years, won the NFL Coach of the Year award last year. Second time he won the award. Remember his last year in Indy when Chuck Pagano was battling leukemia and Arians stepped in taking over the head coaching duties. He won the honor then. Began his NFL career as a running backs coach with the Chiefs. Another good kickoff by Catanzaro. No return for Davis. Time to look at Wolf's keys to the game, presented by your Valley Chevy dealers.
Well, David, I can tell you this. First and foremost, keep the quarterback upright. I think we all know how important that is. And again, when you're talking about preseason, at some point in time, he's going to get hit. It's going to happen, but you got to do your best to keep that quarterback upright. We don't want to get into the next man up after the first preseason game. Then the offensive line and the chemistry. You got 3 or 4 new starters possibly on that offensive line. They've got to come together and gel.
The number 1 defense is out there for the Cardinals again, although there is some rotating going on the defensive line. Smith in trouble and fires complete to the 37-yard line. Albert Wilson on the catch, so the Chiefs get a first down. 16-yard pickup.
Little cover 3 being played by the Arizona Cardinals, a 3-deep zone with 4 underneath. You go ahead and rush 4. I think that's important. Personality is starting to show out of James Betcher here, closing the middle of the field more times than not.
Betcher, the new D coordinator, taking over for Todd Bowles, the head coach now with the Jets. First down on the Kansas City 36. Play fake. Smith hit from behind. Smith gets out of there. He's a terrific athlete, and he picks up the first down. Finally steps out in Cardinal territory. He had Andre Kirk, a rookie from Florida Atlantic, that was trying to track him down, but Kirk could not get him out of bounds. A 16-yard run.
Well, James Betcher is absolutely going to love the fact that he's got pressure on a quarterback. Alex Smith feeling Lorenzo Alexander behind him, pulls it down, and as you said, David, this guy's got wheels.
At the Cardinal 48-yard line, Kyle Davis with a huge hole. Tony Jefferson fires in there to make the hit at the 43-yard line, a 5-yard gain. Jefferson has played in every game the last 2 years. Guy made the team as an undrafted player out of Oklahoma.
Boy, you watch Tony Jefferson play this game of football. It also is an act of love because you can see him engage in the essence. And what is the essence of the game of football? Hit somebody and do it with malice.
Smith out in the flat, DeAnthony Thomas, and the Cardinals do a good job with him. He's pretty dangerous when he touches the football. Cario Brooks, a rookie from Adams State, trying to make the roster as an undrafted player. He has shown a lot of flashes in camp and getting a chance to play here in the first quarter.
Boy, he has made some noise here at University of Phoenix Stadium in training camp. Great pursuit from a bunch of young guys that are out there on the field right now playing in that secondary.
You wonder, Cario Brooks may have never even seen an NFL game in person before. He played at Adams State. Now he's out here against the Chiefs starters in the first quarter of an NFL preseason game. Smith on third down. DeAnthony Thomas can't pull it in. Jimmy LeGree, who was on the practice squad for the Cardinals last year, broke up the pass. It's fourth down.
Hey, Jimmy LeGree, you want to get a little attention for yourself? Maybe be able to afford a Gucci card for somebody in your family? You keep making that play right there. That is a big-time play. Recognition, jumping the slant, and then getting the big paw up there to knock it down.
You know you got Patrick Peterson at one corner, but the other corner spot, will it be Powers, Bethel? What about Jimmy LeGree? Can he find a spot in the fight for 53? Excellent punt and a fair catch made by Golden inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Cardinals offense on the field again. They've got a 10-0 lead.
Here at University of Phoenix Stadium, 10-0 Cardinals leading the Chiefs right now, and history being made here tonight as Dr. Jen Welter becomes the first female coach on the sidelines. She's part of a group of coaching interns under Bruce Arians, and it's been pretty well documented, her story, her perseverance, how much she loves the game of football. But I had to ask her off camera after my interview with her, look, what was it like playing running back, not only in a women's league, but in a men's league? She said it's about the one-on-one battle. Ron Wolfley, I think you can appreciate that. She knows the physicality of this game firsthand, and she's really been working with guys like Marcus Golden and some of the young players on the pass rushing technique that they need to play at this level.
Good run by Kerwin Williams out to the 13-yard line. Welter was a rugby player at Boston College, Wolf, and then played in the Women's Professional Football League for 14 years.
It's an incredible
chance here to prove herself in an intern role and see if she can get a full-time job.
Look, coaching is teaching, and teaching is coaching. And you've got to be able to get the attention of your student. And I think that Jen Welter can do that because of all the football she has played in her career.
Teron Brown on the catch, a first down to the 21-yard line, an 8-yard gain.
You know, football players, David, for the most part, they don't care who you are. They do not care who you are. If you know something, if you can make them better, they're going to listen to anybody. That's going to be the trick for Jen Welter, though, right? That's going to be it right there. Getting them to let their guard down and say, you actually know what you're saying, you know what you're doing, and because of that, I'm going to receive it. I think Jen Welter is going to coach in this league at some point in time, and it might be sooner as opposed to later.
That last play, they ruled a run play, but still a first down for Teron Brown. Here's Kerwin Williams, and he's thrown down at the 25 by Tyvon Branch. So a 4-yard gain for Kerwin Williams.
I'm liking this possession right here. You get Kerwin Williams in there, a guy who's a fire hydrant with lips. You start handing the ball off to him. You let the big guys up front come off the ball. I think the Cardinals, this is the one area they must improve at. Rushing the football. It takes an attitude.
We mentioned Williams had a 100-yard game last year. That was against the Chiefs. Stanton going deep, and Teron Brown got tangled up with the defender, Marcus Cooper. No penalty flag. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 6.
And that right there, David, that's exactly why the Arizona Cardinals need to be able to run the ball well, because this is a shot down the field off of play action. In a 2nd and 6 situation, that is classic rundown situation in the NFL. Play action can be improved greatly, obviously, if you can run the ball, and that's what the Cardinals need.
The Cardinals showed last year they're never afraid to throw the ball down the field, regardless of down and distance. 3rd down and 6. Dee Ford was offside there for Kansas City, so a free play. And the pass is overshot by Stanton. He was going for Golden. Ford is saying that he was drawn offside.
They always say that, David.
Offside. Number 55 defense. 5-yard penalty remains. 3rd down.
Ford was Kansas City's first-round pick last year. Hard to get on the field when you got Tamba Hali and Justin Houston ahead of you. Hali went to the Pro Bowl last year. Houston had 22 sacks, half sack shy of the record.
Yeah, Dee Ford got a little jiggy out there on the edge, and that happens a lot of times. Standing up like that, can't wait to get a sack. Next thing you know, you killed your team.
And now you get a 3rd and 1, and the Cardinals will try to hammer it between the tackles, and a good play in the backfield. Williams brought down.
Once again,
Justin March on the tackle. That's 4th down.
Sorry, David. Once again, that kind of situation, short yardage, 3rd and short rushing attempts, goal line attempts, red zone attempts, 1st and 10. That's when it matters how you run the ball, and that is where this team has got to improve.
And Dave Zastido on the punt. He battled injury last year and might be battling for his job. He and Drew Butler, coaches say, are 50-50 when it comes to winning the punting job. That was a short punt. Well covered, though, by former special teams Pro Bowler Lorenzo Alexander. Only a 35-yard kick, but no return. Cardinals on top, 10-zip. 10-0 Cardinals on top of Kansas City late in the first quarter. Tonight's 1st and 10 on-screen technology is brought to you by the Arizona Lottery. What's your game? Visit ArizonaLottery.com. Well, DJ Humphries, the Cardinals' first-round draft pick out of Florida, was injured on the last play and headed to the locker room. Let's see if we can see what happened here as he's trying to block the defender. Looked right at his right finger and pointing to the sideline.
Got rolled up there. Got to do a better job getting his hands inside, driving somebody off the ball.
Smith to the air, going for Macklin. Macklin had an incredible season with Philadelphia last year. Pro Bowl, over 1,300 receiving yards. He's reunited with Andy Reid, who was the guy that drafted him, Philly.
Jeremy Macklin's having a great training camp for the Kansas City Chiefs. You can see that right there. Fakes the takeoff route as if he's going to go deep, and then just comes back to the ball. A little sit down there. Great timing on the throw by Alex Smith.
Chiefs needed him. Their receivers didn't even produce a touchdown catch last year. It was all their tight ends and Jamal Charles out of the backfield. Smith on first down. Dumps it off as a flag flies in. And Davis is game tackled in Cardinal territory. Kenny Demmons led the charge. Gain of 5 if it stands. There's actually 2 flags down, one in the backfield and one in the secondary.
There are fouls by both teams on the play. Illegal contact, number 49 defense. Holding, number 72 offense. The penalties will offset. Repeat. First down.
You know, well, for Andre Kirk, who was the guilty man there for the Cardinals, it's an adjustment. In college, you can touch offensive players all the way down the field, but in the NFL, after 5 yards, you can't touch them, and that's why there was that illegal contact call. He's going to have to figure that out, and that's why these preseason games are good for a guy like him.
The rookies have to adjust to the NFL game, and there are so many things you've got to consider, so many things that are different, not just the speed, not just the physicality, but the rules.
Niall Davis with a blocker out there, slips a tackle at the 40, finally brought down by Demmons. He may have poked the ball loose.
The old speed draw.
The runner was down by contact. First down.
The Arizona Cardinals actually run this play an awful lot. See the tackle set, push the guy up the field, the end man. That's Kareem Martin, and Niall Davis is off and running. The Cardinals run that exact play, and it was a major staple in their arsenal last year.
So a gain of 20. Ed Stinson, you saw him miss a tackle there. 5th-round pick last year from Alabama. Missed half the season with a toe injury. And Niall Davis, another guy who's battled injury, he was shaken up on that play. So first down inside the Cardinal 35. Smith off play action. Finds Kelsey, and nice tackle by Demmons at the 29-yard line. Demmons, undrafted a couple years ago out of Michigan. Did not make a tackle last year on defense, but he was a key player on special teams.
Boy, that is nice right there by Kenny Demmons. That is a big man, Kelsey, out there running, a guy that is an excellent tight end, excellent receiver, a guy the Kansas City Chiefs really rely on. That's a big-time tackle in the open field, and that's what Kenny Demmons needs to show.
Sean Weatherspoon, who they signed in the offseason, has been battling an injury, so an opportunity for Demmons to shine now. Smith's pass is pulled in inside the 20-yard line by Hammond. Bethel on the coverage. It's a first down for Kansas City. All right, let's get the latest now on DJ Humphries. Here's Jody.
Yeah, Dave, we saw him go into the locker room. We have a little more information. It is a right finger injury. They have not ruled out his return, though. His return is questionable.
All right, so as the runner.
Prior to the snap, Arizona is challenging the ruling of the field of a completed catch.
All right, so
Please
Bruce
set the game
Arians.
clock to 1 second.
So they're going to review whether Hammond caught that football or whether he. See if he did complete the catch. We're going to take a look during the break. Step aside with the Cardinals up 10-0 with 1 second left in the first quarter. 1 second remaining in the first quarter. Arizona leads 10-zip. For 2 days after every Cardinals win, get 50% off regular menu price online orders using promo code Cardinals50 at papajohns.com. The Cardinals challenged the last play of a reception by Frankie Hammond. And we had a chance to look at the replay, and it appears that Justin Bethel knocks it out and the ball hits the ground and that Hammond loses control.
This is a great play by Justin Bethel right here. It's the reason why if you're playing cornerback, you never give up. Great, he's running a slant. He's got inside position.
Pass hit the ground. It's an incomplete pass. Please set the game clock to 21 seconds. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
David, did you see Justin Bethel come?
Timeout will be charged to Arizona.
All right, Zebra, you're killing me. Did you see Justin Bethel come in with the arms and rip, right? Yeah. You never give up for that very reason right there. Rode Hammond into the ground the whole time. These are the kind of plays the Arizona Cardinals want to see Justin Bethel make.
He's been to 2 Pro Bowlers as a special team standout, 3 career block kicks, but the Cardinals need more. They need him to be a corner, and with Antonio Cromartie gone after a good season last year, Bethel, along with Gerard Powers, are the leading candidates for that corner spot opposite Patrick Peterson.
You're talking about an incredible football player.
3rd down and 5. Smith completes it. Albert Wilson can't get away from Bethel. Cardinals defended that beautifully. So Bethel with consecutive plays on defense to force a field goal try.
Oh, the bats are flying right now. You can just see them. These young guys making some plays out here.
Of the first quarter.
This is a great job making an open field tackle, but to Justin Bethel right there, that's no different than being a gunner on a punt team.
So Bethel shines at the end of the first quarter, while the first team offense opened the game with a precise drive that led to a touchdown. Catanzaro tacks on 3 more, and it's 10-zip Arizona. So the Cardinals with a terrific first quarter offensively, and the defense steps up, makes a couple of plays. Justin Bethel breaking up a pass and then making a tackle to force a 48-yard field goal try by Santos. And he nails it. So the Chiefs are on the board. Justin Bethel, who has 3 career blocks. So you're going to see him on special teams, and the Cardinals hoping you'll see him on defense a lot this year as well. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more in car insurance. Visit geico.com.
Justin Bethel, one of the best skimmers I have ever seen on that field goal block, that extra point and field goal block. Justin Bethel is a guy that has all the talent, all the skills you need to play corner in the NFL. And this is what makes him special. He's such a strong open field tackler. That shows up when he covers punts, when he covers kickoffs. He's a tackle machine. Now he's got to take that and transfer it to the corner position and actually improve his skills in man cover.
Bethel went to Presbyterian. He was a 6th-round pick by the Cardinals in 2012. One of many mid to late round draft picks by the Cardinals from small schools. Steve Keim and his crew have been able to find and that have produced.
This guy is a great football player. I got all the respect in the world for him, David, and it's not because he's gone to Pro Bowls on special teams either, I might add.
Now, you got one more than he does. He's got a lot more years left in him, though.
I remind him that too.
Here's J.J. Nelson. This was the fastest guy at the combine. He did not get a chance really to get started, though. He ran into a teammate, and so he is tackled short of the 20-yard line. Nelson from UAB, a 5th-round draft pick.
J.J. Nelson. Did you see him bring that thing out of the end zone, David? He was running, man. This guy's got incredible burst. Another guy that has been the talk of training camp on the offensive side of the ball. J.J. Nelson with his football skills.
Logan Thomas will play the 2nd and 3rd quarters at quarterback for the Cardinals. 4th-round draft pick last year from Virginia Tech. Played in the Denver game in the regular season and was one of 9. Thomas to throw here, and it's caught at the 27-yard line. near the first down, and it is a first down for Ifeanyi Moma. Moma's been the talk of camp. 25 years old. It's his 4th team, but he's never played in an NFL game. But he could start at tight end for the Cardinals.
Great pocket for Logan Thomas. Great job reading the zone. Ifeanyi Moma sat it down, and the ball was on him.
Former receiver at Boston College will play tight end for the Cardinals. First down at the Arizona 27. Big hole for Kerwin Williams out to the 33-yard line. Ramik Wilson, rookie from Georgia, made the hit.
Well, you can see once again a bunch formation to the left, and you see the tight ends that are out there. Ifeanyi Moma is one of the guys that has got to step up in that area. He's got to show that he can actually block.
And you see DJ Humphries-Wolf back out there, so that's good. Went back to the locker room, had a right finger injury, but is back with the second group / third group with Logan Thomas in a quarterback.
Put a Band-Aid on it.
Another run play and another hole for Williams. Got the first down, but here comes a penalty flag. Thrown at the feet of an offensive lineman. You know what that means.
Holding. Number 80 offense. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
So that's on Moma, tight end. So Wolf, you're blocking in practice. You're blocking. You're used to being a receiver. Now you're called to go out here and block guys like D. Ford. Now what's the challenge?
Well, the challenge is right there when you got a running back who bounces it outside. You think you're actually trying to keep your defender outside of you. That's what Ifeanyi Moma was thinking. They were trying to punch a hole to his inside. Kerwin bounced it outside, and anytime you got a tight end that is not experienced in blocking, he will hold when a back bounces it.
So second down and 14. Thomas in trouble, but at 250 pounds, he's strong enough to elude a sack and throw it away.
Intentional groundings. Quarterback is out of the pocket. Third down.
Boy, it looked like a couple of Chiefs were offside, D. Ford and Desmond Moses, but apparently they were not.
Boy,
and he was
Logan
outside
Thomas.
the pocket, so it was not grounding.
How strong is Logan Thomas? Well, there's your answer right there. Breaking that tackle from D. Ford and getting out of there and then trying to throw the ball down the field, just throw it away. That is a good play by a young Q.
His one completion last year was a touchdown pass. Third and 14. Thomas steps up. And it's caught by Nelson, a first down. Logan Thomas looked good in preseason last year. And he's off to a good start tonight.
How about that against a zone, a 4-man rush. Logan Thomas working his feet. Watch his feet right here. Stepping up into the pocket, buying himself a little bit of time, and then finding J.J. Nelson on the out route against that zone. Did you see him looking downfield, David? Did you see him reading that coverage? That's a little progress by number 6.
So a fresh set of downs for Arizona on its 39-yard line. Williams running to the right and slammed down by Desmond Moses. That last pass by Logan Thomas, we see it sometimes, right? In practice, and then you'll see one airmail 10 yards over a receiver's head. And that was the problem in college, too. It's why his completion percentage was around 50. How can the Cardinals get consistency from him?
He's got to do it himself. I don't know what the answer is to that. Every coach that has ever coached him doesn't know what the answer is. He's got all the raw material you need to be a great quarterback in this league.
Kerwin Williams. A nice block from Lyle Senline. Senline battling with A.Q. Shipley for the starting center spot. Senline was just re-signed by the Cardinals recently after being released in the offseason.
You know, there are a lot of offensive coordinators that will tell you in regard to Logan Thomas, they will tell you that there are quarterbacks that can read coverage, but can you see coverage? And what they mean by that is, can you see who is open? What is your brain telling you to do? And can you complete the pass when they are open in that coverage? Anyone can read it, but can you see it?
Third down and 9. Pressure coming from the Chiefs. And that pass incomplete. J.J. Nelson didn't look like he saw the football.
Well,
so it's fourth down.
He didn't sight adjust right there, I think. That's a hot situation. That's a hot throw. He's got to break that route off quicker.
So Zastudil will punt. Sharkandrick West. You're glad I have to say that name, aren't you?
Yes.
Penalty flag down. Another short punt, bobbled, but West able to hold on to it. Golden was the gunner on that play. Got a piece of him. 39-yard kick for Zastudil. Missed most of last year due to injury.
I think Pete's going to make another announcement here.
Yeah, he's been busy so far.
Yes, he has. Wait till the fourth quarter, David.
What do you call the fourth quarter preseason game?
The witching hour.
Offside, number 55, lined up in the neutral zone. Penalties declined. Timeout.
Is that an official Wolfleyism? The witching hour?
I believe so, David.
10-3 Cardinals on top.
Bad things happen.
6 guys, or I'm talking to 36 guys. It's no different for me. I'm the same guy. When players look at you, they want to know, and I've said this kind of before, your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted, you're on point, you're prepared for the meetings.
That's James Bettcher, first-year defensive coordinator, taking over for Todd Bowles. Spent the last 2 years as linebacker coach for the Cardinals. Chase Daniel completes it on first down to Fred Williams. Bettcher's 4th year in the NFL, 37 years old, one of the youngest coordinators in the league. A tall task ahead of him to replace Todd Bowles, who had great success here.
He's got a brilliant mind, he really does, and he loves this game, and he's also very, very aggressive, and that's what Bruce Arians likes. He wants his coordinator to be aggressive, just like Todd Bowles was last year.
Daniel to throw on 2nd down and 5. Dumps it off. And nice play by Andre Kirk. Loss of 1. You know, talking with the Bettcher at training camp, Wolf, he's a real confident guy, and I think the players have already responded to him. They respect him, but certainly once you get into regular season games, that's when we'll really get a sense of kind of what Bettcher's all about.
So glad you said that, David, because that is the truth right there. He's not only trying to earn the respect of the players, but also of the coaches that have coached in this league for 3 decades. The only way that's going to happen is when the Silks are on in regulation.
3rd down and 6. Daniel and a crowd completes it to Williams. Nice open field hit made by Legree near the first down. And Kansas City did pick it up, so move the chains.
Boy, once again, Jimmy Legree making a wonderful open field tackle. Look at this, David. The only thing I would say is get that head across to the other side. That was really, really close to being perfect, but get the head across the legs, not behind it.
Run play West on first down. He gets hammered. Alani Fua, one of the taller linebackers you'll see. He's about 6'5", 6'6". In the middle of that Cardinal defense.
Watch the corner come up right here to the left of your screen. Look at him come up right there. Take the block on and turn the back inside to the pursuit. That is a big-time play right there by C.J. Roberts.
So no gain, 2nd and 10. Roberts, another undrafted rookie like Fua. Like Carriel Brooks, who made a tackle earlier in the game. Daniel hit as he throws, completes it to West, and broke a couple tackles to get a first down and into Cardinal territory. 20 yards there, and another Kansas City first down.
You watch the play action right here. You get a little pressure coming from the backside. Who is that? Guess who? Lamar Woodley, also a little pressure in the face. There's 1 missed tackle. There's 2. There's 3. And then Legree brings him down. Jimmy Legree with some strong tackles here tonight. There's going to be a lot of butt chewing on that, though, that last play.
West off the left side. Slammed down by Kareem Martin. And Gabe Martin, no relation.
Boy, I like what I've seen out of Kareem Martin. I don't know about you, David, but this is a guy that's got all the talent. He's got all the ability, all the tools. As a matter of fact, when you look at him physically, he compares well to Jadeveon Clowney. Physically, from a physical perspective, he was putting up Jadeveon Clowney type numbers at the combine.
Martin played in 11 games last year, started 2, had 1 sack. Daniel, that pass is deflected, incomplete. Matt Shaughnessy got a piece of it, and Daniel is maybe 6 feet tall, so sometimes has trouble seeing over the long arms of defensive linemen.
Boy, Brenston Buckner right now, somewhere, wherever he is, he's doing a happy dance. Defensive line coaches love that when a defensive lineman will go ahead, look at the quarterback's eyes, and you can see it. You can tell when he's getting ready to unload that thing, and they stick the hand up there to knock it down.
So it's 3rd and 8 now for Kansas City at the Cardinal 46. Cardinals rush 4. Daniel gets level, but he somehow completed it. He's still down. Fred Williams on the catch, but man, Kareem Martin lit him up right as he released it.
Watch Kareem Martin right here get a little juice on a TE stunt. Matt Shaughnessy out, Kareem Martin underneath. Boy, I'll tell you what, that is a physical play by Kareem Martin.
Got him in the chest, though, didn't lead with a head.
That's the game of football right there. Punishing.
Martin, known as an athlete. It's good to see some physicality from him. Daniel with a ton of time, everybody covered. And now Daniel going to the end zone. Incomplete. Carriel Brooks had the coverage that time on Deron Brown.
Oh, you like to see that. Daniel again getting a little bit of pressure here. Nice pocket at first. Pressure came light, but right there you can see it. My goodness, what a play by Carriel Brooks. Good cover. This kid has been impressive as well. BA likes him a lot.
Daniel on 2nd down. Underneath route. Inside the 30-yard line, Ryan Taylor brought down at the 28-yard line. You mentioned that BA likes Carriel Brooks. I saw at one practice, and you don't see this a lot from an offensive head coach, go over to not only the defensive side, but go over to a rookie. He went over to Carriel Brooks and told him, nice job.
Yeah, absolutely. And he also told him, you keep working, kid. Keep working. BA is all about raising the ceiling for all of his players, no matter who you are.
See what James Betcher does here. See if he dials up a blitz on 3rd down. Empty set here for Kansas City. Andy Reid will call a timeout.
Timeout, Kansas City. First team timeout.
11th play of this drive coming up for the Chiefs. The Cardinals in front, 10-3. Cardinals lead the Chiefs 10-3. Cox delivers over 800 games pro and college for the biggest games and the biggest conferences. Visit cox.com/football for more. 3rd down and 4 for Kansas City at the Arizona 28-yard line. Cardinals rush 4. Daniel. Nice throw. Caught inside the 15 for a 1st down by Frankie Hammond.
Well, the Cardinals go ahead and actually show blitz right here. Then they bail out. They play nothing but cover 3. That's 3 deep zone with 4 guys underneath. It turns into a 4-man rush right there again. I think James Betcher trying to be very conservative here. And a lot of times, too, you get coordinators that will call preseason games not to win the games per se, just to go ahead and see what they want to see out of some of the young guys they got in the game.
I'll go back to that after this play. 1st down at the 13-yard line. Daniel. Complete. Maybe we won't go back to it. Touchdown. Fred Williams with a touchdown catch, and the Chiefs can tie the game.
Now, once again, James Bettcher and his personality is about going after the quarterback. We have not seen that on this drive. It's been zone, 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 zone. This time the Cardinals only rushed 3 guys. They drop 8, and Daniel still gets it in on the post for a touchdown.
Well, I guess we can go to it then. I was going to ask, how much do you want to show of your blitz packages in the preseason?
Not a lot. You don't want to do that. Now, there are standard blitzes, of course, that you can come with that everybody's got in their playbook. He's not going to show anything special, that's for sure. But all this zone tells me he wants to see something out of these young DBs.
Extra point ties the game at 10. 4:28 on the clock here in quarter number 2. So the Chiefs tie the game after a 12-play, 79-yard drive. We're all even at 10. Visit your local room store for a chance at winning an ultimate fan cave or the best seats in the nest for an upcoming Cardinals game. The Cardinals will play San Diego a week from tonight, preseason game number 2. The regular season starts September 13th at home against Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints.
Well, if you're Bruce Arians right now, you got to feel good about what you saw from your first team. The first team went out there and did what they were supposed to do. Score points offensively and keep the other team from scoring defensively.
Carson Palmer in his return 4 of 4. Almost 80 yards passing. Nelson won't bring it out this time. A touchback. Will step aside. Cardinals and Chiefs tied at 10. The Chiefs scored recently to tie the game at 10, but let's take a look at the Cardinals scoring drive presented by Santan Ford. Santan Ford, the Cardinals team is what it takes. This was the opening drive by the starters that resulted in an Andre Ellington rushing score.
Carson Palmer operating. Look at the clean pocket right there on the out route to John Brown. Great throw, great timing. And another bang 8 right there. Good protection again, keeping Carson Palmer clean. And then why not give it to Andre Ellington after he got you down there? He gets it in, touchdown Cardinals.
Stephon Taylor getting a turnout running back. Thomas fakes it to him, looks downfield. And Thomas completes it to Jerron Brown for an Arizona first down. A 12-yard gain.
You gotta love what you're seeing out of Logan Thomas right now. Notice the protection once again that he's receiving here. A good, clean pocket. Logan Thomas, I don't care what you say, he looks good to Uni when you got that pocket clean, and that was a strong out throw.
We'll see Phillip Sims later in the game. Thomas and Sims battling for the third quarterback spot if they indeed keep 3. Here's Taylor, and he rumbles past the 35 out near the 40-yard line. There's a penalty marker down, though.
Holding, number 62 offense, 10-yard penalty remains. First down.
That's Ted Larson. He started every game last year at guard. And we'll see this year, if he makes the team, what position he plays. He can play both center and guard.
Oh, that's too bad right there. Again, 1st and 10. It's when you run the ball effectively that really matters. 1st and 10, one of those downs. And the reason being is because if you can use play action, because you can run the ball so well in 1st and 10, boy, that really opens up a whole new element to your offense.
Thomas on 1st and 20, dumping it off. Taylor is very good out of the backfield catching the football. Thrown out of bounds at the 28-yard line, so they get a chunk of it back. Taylor had 3 touchdown catches last year for the Cardinals.
Just once again, Logan Thomas out there operating. Didn't like what he saw downfield, didn't like what his eyes were telling him, so he went ahead and hit the check down. Now all of a sudden you got Stephon Taylor out here. Watch his hit right. Boom! Lowers the shoulder pads. Boy, he is hard to get under too when he does that.
You see the numbers for Thomas so far. Empty set on 2nd and 14. Play clock winding down. Thomas surveys the field. Pass was a little low, but it is caught about 1.5 yards shy of a first down. Ifani Moma with the reception.
You gotta love this. Once again, Logan Thomas moving around that pocket. Did you see him go through his progression, David?
Yeah.
Looking to his left, coming back all the way to the center of the field, and there's Ifani Moma making another impressive catch. Man, as that guy flashed.
3rd down and a yard, and there's Thomas pushing the pile at 250 pounds. That was a long yard. But he's got the power.
This is the 2-minute warning.
To pick up the 1st down. 2-minute mark here with the game tied at 10. Cardinals trying to get some points before intermission. 2 minutes to go in the first half. We're tied at 10. Logan Thomas, the Cardinals' number 3 quarterback, is operating from the pocket so far.
He's got the surgical mask on. Watch this. Got some time. Standing tall in the pocket. Throw the ball down the field on an out route.
Made a couple of nice throws. Stephon Taylor spilled for a loss of 1. Nick Williams made the stop for Kansas City. Cardinals have all their timeouts.
Stephon Taylor, there's a guy that is so steady in so many different areas. Good out of the backfield, good in blitz pickup, good in between the tackles.
Thomas, and there is contact. No flag. Golden was bumped by Steven Nelson. Well, the official did not feel there was enough contact to call pass interference, so it's 3rd and 11.
I can promise you, in a regular season game, BA's dropping that card, the headset's coming off, and there's going to be some screaming now. Oh, here we go. He's going to let him hear it anyways.
Sarah Thomas, the first full-time NFL official. She is a line judge. Hearing it from BA there. 3rd and 11. Chiefs blitz. Taylor picks it up, and Thomas nearly throws an interception. Ramik Wilson could not make the catch. The ball was going about 100 miles an hour. It's 4th down.
Watch this, David, right here. I want you to watch Stephon Taylor. This guy is going to pick up the blitzer. Watch the way he sticks it right in there. I mean, it doesn't look that impressive, but when the other guy has got to run at you, that is a great job by Stephon Taylor picking up the blitz.
Wilson on the punt return for the Chiefs. Brought down to the 21-yard line. Here's Cariel Brooks again. Made a couple of plays on defense. Gets a special teams tackle here after a 45-yard punt. So 1:15 on the clock for Kansas City. The Chiefs have 2 timeouts. Tied at 10.
Make a football team. That's what it comes down to right now. Go out and make a play. These guys have got to distinguish themselves somehow, some way. Doesn't matter where. Offensively, defensively, in transition, you got to make a play to get the coach's attention and make it a positive one. Because there's a lot of guys who make plays in a negative way, if you know what I mean, David. Not good.
Mostly positives for the Cardinals here in the first half. 1st down for the Chiefs on their 22. Daniel underneath toss to West. And Kareem Martin won't let him get away. Forward progress to the 26, a gain of 4. How much do you make of the position change for Kareem Martin and that having an impact on his improvement?
Well, I think he's getting great coaching. I also think that anytime you get that position change, now all of a sudden the red light comes on because you know you've got to show something. They're moving you for a reason. I think Kareem Martin could be an excellent will linebacker.
Timeout, a 30-second timeout.
He played defensive end in their 3-4 set last year as a rookie, a 3rd-round pick out of North Carolina. But now playing outside linebacker. He did have his hand down on that play, but a lot of times you'll see him standing up.
He's more of a technician, David. He's a guy that likes to use his great reach, use his hands. He uses them very, very well. I think probably the improvement this year in training camp with his hands is night and day from last year, and that's coaching. They're teaching him how to be a will backer in that 3-4 defense, and he's responded.
The guy that he's behind, speaking of a guy that has really taken advantage of coaching, Alex Okafor. We really didn't get a chance to see much of him tonight, but Okafor had 8 sacks last year. He missed time with injury. He has looked like a pass rusher who could get double-digit sacks this season for the Cardinals. Here's Daniel to West on 3rd and 1, first down and more. Wrapped up at the 41. Chiefs still have a timeout. They're going to use it. 34 seconds remaining.
Timeout. Kansas City 3rd and final team timeout. 30-second timeout.
Let's stay on the outside linebacker theme. All right, you got Alex Okafor. Right now, Lorenzo Alexander is starting, but you have Marcus Golden, the 2nd-round pick. The coaching staff wants to see something from Lamar Woodley in the preseason. 9-year pro. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when he was a newcomer in the NFL out of Michigan, he was a double-digit sack guy. He's had some injuries. Tore his biceps against the Cardinals last year when he was with the Raiders.
Well, Lamar Woodley is a stocky guy. He does not fit the prototypical edge type rusher. He's a stocky guy, a very powerful guy. Can you say bull rush? Have you ever ridden a bull, David? Because if you try to take on Lamar Woodley, that basically is what you're doing. Here's your cowboy hat.
Smith gets hit again, or Daniel rather, and another nice throw. Boy, Chase Daniel putting it on the money to Frankie Hammond. Daniels hung around. He was the backup to Drew Brees for a handful of years, and now backing up Alex Smith. But he looks like a guy that if needed, he could step in and play. What
a great job, Alani Fua actually getting pressure going after Chase Daniel. And that, you cannot throw the ball under duress any better than Daniel did right there.
33-yard pass play. Played his college ball at Missouri. Was always very accurate, smart, but his lack of height was a big reason why scouts didn't love him coming out. But he's showing his accuracy here. Another nice throw, finding Fred Williams. First down inside the 15.
Alani Fua's got to do a better job in that zone room, getting out into that passing lane.
Daniel spikes it to stop the clock with 13 seconds left.
That's a skill. It really is, playing that zone. Those defenders in a zone, David, they're looking right at that cue. They want to look right at his eyes. That's what tips you off as to where he's going. You've got to feel the route, and you've got to see the cue when you play in a zone.
I got to imagine for guys like Alani Fua, learning NFL zone concepts is an adjustment, and now you see it with the Bullets being live in the preseason.
That'll be a teaching moment for him on that last play.
13 seconds left in the half. Chase Daniel 12 of 14. A touchdown pass. Going to the air again. And going to the end zone. And wide open is Frankie Hammond for the touchdown. Cardinal DB got turned around. And the Chiefs take the lead with 7 seconds left in the half.
Well, not surprising to actually see James Betcher dial it up a little bit right here. A 6-man rush coming after Chase Daniel. They release 2 receivers into the route. Max protection across the board. Hammond running the corner was wide open after the DB fell down, and another very impressive throw by Chase Daniel.
Again, that long extra point. See if some teams opt to go for 2. One of the other rule changes is, as that extra point is good, that the defense can return either a blocked extra point, or if there's an interception while the team decides to go for 2, they can return it for 2 points like you can in college. It'll be interesting. We've talked to some of the coaches about that, and they think that the option teams, guys that have an option quarterback, Seattle, San Francisco, even though Philadelphia doesn't have an option quarterback, Chip Kelly's head coach,
Tebow.
those teams are going to go for T. Well, they've got Tim Tebow. They're going to go for 2 some this year. We've already seen some teams do it in the preseason in the first quarter.
I can see teams start to keep quarterbacks just for the 2-point conversion. Can you imagine that, David?
Yeah.
Tim Tebow. Talk about Tebow time. Every time you score a touchdown, now all of a sudden it's a 2-point conversion. 2-point Tebow.
This season, Sanderson Ford will be recognizing our servicemen and women through the Seats for Soldiers program. For more, go to sandersonford.com. So 7 seconds remaining here in the first half. a lot of good for the Cardinals in the first half, but unless Mr. Nelson returns this thing 100+ yards for a touchdown, the Cardinals will be trailing at halftime.
Well, once again, how does your first team play?
Really well. Great drive by the Cardinals' first team offense. Nelson corrals and tripped up at the 13-yard line with 2 seconds left. Now Nelson at 160 pounds probably doesn't take much when the defender gets his hand on him to get him to the ground, and that will be the challenge for Nelson, right?
Yeah, absolutely. J.J. Nelson is a guy that really has got strong hands, and that is a surprise to me. Typically, you don't see guys that are that slight have that kind of hands when it comes to how strong they are. I mean, David, he's no bigger than you are.
And I'm skinny.
Let me tell you, you guys are light poles with lips.
He can run a little faster than I can. Although after I ripped you for wearing the virtual reality gear that made you look like a scuba diver, thankfully you didn't have your wetsuit on. I thought I might have to outrun you. You were not happy with me. 17-10 is the score at the half. Kansas City leads the Cardinals. Back with more. And welcome back to University of Phoenix Stadium. Dave Pasch, Ron Wolfley, Jody Jackson. The Chiefs lead the Cardinals 17-10. Let's look at some of the highlights for the Cardinals. And that first team offense moved right down the field on the Kansas City starting defense.
All starts with protection for Carson Palmer. Look at the protection right there on the out route to John Brown. Great execution on that play. Then you come back, a little angle route out of the backfield to Andre Ellington. Little shake and bake down the middle of the field. Man, was it good to see Andre Ellington make a play. And then, what do you say? You hand it off and let him finish it. A nice job at the point of attack right there. Now it's defense as well. Dayon Buchanan with pressure on Alex Smith. And there's the Honey Badger with an easy interception. That's what happens when you get that kind of pressure on an opposing quarterback. And once again, this is what you want to see. You want to see your first team out there doing well offensively, moving the ball, scoring a touchdown, and your defense creating turnovers.
We saw a lot of younger players getting opportunities to go against Kansas City's first team offense when the Cardinals took their first team offense off the field. We got to see Cario Brooks out there, Andre Kirk, both undrafted rookies trying to make the roster, getting some good work in there.
And it's a whole different ball game when you start the regular season because of game planning.
Tello Luckett is the deep man. Those are names we always seem to say only in preseason. Let's check in with Jody, who talked to Bruce Arians.
Well, Coach, Carson was in there one drive, 4 for 4, 77 yards. What did you like about his performance?
I thought we started out very fast, very crisp, and it was good to see for those guys. Had a really good first quarter. First start defense, I thought, really attacked well, and our offense attacked well. Then the second quarter, the penalties on offense, we got very passive on defense.
You mentioned defense and some big plays there at the end. What needed to happen on a few of those pass attempts by the Chiefs?
We got to get more aggressive. We're playing 15 yards off, and we're a bump and run team. You can't play scared out there. Our blitzers didn't get home, and they got to do a better job of being aggressive. I thought the young guys got on there and just were a little too tentative.
One quick thing on Logan Thomas. What did you like about his performance?
False start.
Well, he made a couple real nice throws, but he also messed up a couple hots that he could have fixed and threw almost an interception when he wasn't hot. Those are the things he's got to eliminate.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Head Coach Bruce Arians, guys.
Yeah, there's always things, especially with quarterback play, right, Wolf, where you just don't know. You can guess as to whether the correct read was made, whether the receiver made a mistake or the quarterback did. And only once the head coach speaks do you find out the truth.
You just don't know unless you're in that huddle, David.
A penalty on Kansas City, 1st and 15, run play. West, and he's got a crease at the 25. Look out. West past the 40 and run out of bounds near midfield. Now some missed tackles by this second group in the first half, and also now to start the third quarter. 34-yard run.
Well, they go right at Marcus Golden, the number 2 pick right there with his speed draw. He comes way up the field, and West is off and running right there. That play has been run a couple times by the Kansas City Chiefs, and I think they're averaging 40.3 yards every time they run it.
West gets it out near midfield. Fresh set of downs for Kansas City. Chase Daniel had the go-ahead touchdown pass late in the second quarter, and he's playing quarterback to start the third, and he dumps it off here into Cardinal territory. Near another first down is Deron Brown. C.J. Roberts chased him out. First down inside the Arizona 40.
Boy, misdirection plays in preseason games when the young guys are in there. Great concept offensively. Just run misdirection plays because, you know, David, you got these defensive guys out there. They're trying to flash. They're trying to show something. Their tongues are bouncing off their knees out there trying to make a play. Why not use that misdirection? Use it against them.
On first down, Spencer Ware gets a couple to the 36-yard line. And at the bottom of the pile there is Pound Cake. Edwin Jackson, the rookie from Georgia Southern, got that nickname because he missed his initial flight out to Arizona. But to make it up to the coaches, he brought homemade pound cake, and the name is stuck.
Boy, that is a smart tactic. I never would have thought of doing that. Bring my mom's sticky buns.
You can bring him anyway. You don't have to miss a flight, Wolf, just to bring those for me. You know I have a sweet tooth.
You should eat one.
West fumbles the ball, and jumping on it, an offensive lineman for Kansas City, Derek Sherrod. The Chiefs keep possession. See if it was forced or if West just coughed it up.
You take a look at it right there. Yeah, West coughed it up, hit his own guy, I believe.
Let's see if Gabe Martin got a hand in there.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he sure did. Gabe Martin got that shoulder pad in there. Man, that's a play that will not go unnoticed by the coaches. Flashing.
Martin, a rookie from Bowling Green. 3rd and 4 for Kansas City. Daniel throws it deep and out of bounds. He got pressure from Marcus Golden in the backfield. And so it's 4th down.
Boy, how about that? Marcus Golden, 2nd round pick, getting a little pressure on Chase Daniel. Man, you love to see that. This guy has got a motor, and he's going to get an awful lot of sacks in this league just because he's got a lot of want to.
2nd round draft choice out of Missouri. 58th pick. 2nd team All-SEC last year. Had 10 sacks for the Tigers. 4th and 4. The Chiefs going for it. And Daniel's pass is caught for a first down inside the 25-yard line by Deron Brown.
Well, you bring 6, you play man free. Cardinals playing man cover with a free safety in the middle of the field. They go after the Q, and it's an easy dump underneath right there. That's where most blitzes are defeated, on some type of crossing route when you're in man cover. It is by far and away the hardest assignment, especially for a young cornerback, to run with the receiver laterally across the field.
So inside the Cardinal 25, at the 23, 1st and 10. Daniel off a play fake, and West out of the backfield. Outruns Jackson inside the 10 and brought down around the 3-yard line. And Chase Daniel carving up the Cardinal defense the last quarter plus. That was a 19-yard catch and run by Charkandrick West.
And you can see that Edwin Jackson right there picked up West coming out of the backfield late. That was his assignment in man cover, and he picked him up late.
1st and goal at the 4 of Arizona. West pinballed at the 3-yard line. Jones, Porte, Jackson in there. Josh Morrow as well. Morrow played in a handful of games last year, started 2 for the Cardinals, and he's shaken up, trying to make a roster spot. I think that defensive line is the deepest position on this Cardinals roster. You'd have to think they're going to keep 6 or 7. There's 9 or 10 guys, though, that have a legitimate chance to get those spots.
Did you see Harold Cortate come up there? That's laying the lumber right there once again. Some of the smallest plays, most insignificant plays, you know what? They show up on film, and coaches love it.
Josh Morrow getting looked at on the Cardinal sideline. 17-10, Chiefs on top. Dave Pasch, Ron Wolfley. Michael Bidwell is joining us. And Michael, a couple of years ago, you hired Steve Keim. You hired Bruce Arians. Steve has won 2 Executive of the Year awards. Bruce Arians, Coach of the Year last year. 11 wins last year. A playoff berth. Never a better time maybe to be a Cardinal fan. What are your expectations going into this regular season?
Well, my expectations are huge, as are all of our fans. You know, we felt like we had a great team last year. We got injured at the end of the year, but this year it's all about not being injured, making sure we do everything we can do, and the goal is the Super Bowl, period.
Really amazing, though, considering all the injuries. How difficult was it for Bruce and for Steve to accomplish what they did last year, given all the injuries?
Well, we got off to a great start, obviously, 11-1 at one point, and then, disappointing end in Carolina. So the whole goal, every decision we made in the offseason was about doing everything we could do to win the Super Bowl, both in the draft and in free agency, re-signing. That's why I extended both of those, both Bruce and Steve with their situations, because I believe this team, the sky is the limit for us.
Talk about University of Phoenix Stadium, Michael, if you could. 10 years here. Man, it has seen an awful lot of goodness, hasn't it?
Great. 93 sellouts. We've had a couple of national championship games, 2 Super Bowls, a Pro Bowl. It's been an amazing thing, and we're going to sell them all out again this year, I'm sure, and looking forward to great things. The Red Sea here, this is an intimidating place for people to come and play, and so it's exciting. The goal is to hang some more banners this year.
You guys are at the forefront in so many areas. Hiring Dr. Jen Welter, we'll get to that in a moment, but also at the forefront of technology with virtual reality. Wolf and I got a chance to check that out, and also the Catapult system. Talk about both of those and how they've impacted the Cardinals.
Well, I think the virtual reality, and we're one of 5 teams that's out there doing this right now. I'm sure it's going to be more teams in the future. I think it's going to really help our quarterbacks, our signal callers, really helping us there. And you can see Wolf is did you just break out in a sweat there almost?
Michael, it was one of the coolest things in the world, and I really do believe this is going to help signal callers, quarterbacks, whether you're Carson Palmer and you can't practice, it's really going to help him. It's going to help Mike linebackers. It's going to help people like Rashad Johnson, a free safety that makes a lot of calls during a game, a personal protector on special teams, on the punt team. It really has got a lot of applications, cutting edge stuff.
Jackson Shipley on the return, brought down at the 21-yard line.
So that's the reason why we invested in that. It was all about, being cutting edge, but also giving more mental reps that were more realistic than just doing these air reps. And with all the changes in the off-season rules, we feel like this really gives us an edge.
Michael, do you see the day and age coming where it's a full-blown quarterback simulator, where you basically have the goggles with the helmet on, and suddenly you're hooked up your entire body and you're seeing whatever an offensive coordinator would program into a computer? This is kind of the precursor, isn't it?
It feels like a first generation. There's no doubt that the group that we're working with is going to be doing updates to this and learning a lot this season. We're excited about even 2016 and what it's going to look like, version 2.0.
Cardinals going to run Stephon Taylor between the tackles. There's a penalty marker down. Michael, we mentioned the hiring of Dr. Jen Welter to help out as an intern with the linebackers here in training camp and throughout the preseason. What went into that decision? And
defense, offside, number 51, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty remains. First down.
And how things worked out.
It was a point of emphasis, beginning at the annual meeting, is let's get women involved in some of the non-traditional roles around the teams. And so Coach brought the idea of Jen Welter, bringing her on as summer training camp intern coach. We've got 6 of them. And I said, yeah, let's do it. And he had explained her background, and she's awesome. She's done a great job.
Logan Thomas to the air on 1st and 5 after a cheap penalty. Off the chest of Jerron Brown and picked off by Ramik Wilson. And there's Logan Thomas making the tackle to save a touchdown.
Oh, that is too bad right there. Once again, Logan Thomas, it appeared, made a strong read against zone cover and put the ball right on Jaron Brown. You got to catch it with your hands. He tried to trap it against his chest, and that's why the ball came off. Logan put a lot on that ball, but if you're playing in the NFL, you got to make that catch. And how about the effort by Logan Thomas making the tackle?
28-yard return by Wilson. A chance for the Chiefs to get some more points.
So, Michael, you put a lot of money into the facility over in Tempe. How much of that has to do with today's NFL and the recruiting of free agents?
Well, a lot of it had to do with it was a state-of-the-art facility when we opened it up in 1989, and it was, we had been doing some baby steps to updating it, and we decided we really needed to do a complete job. And so it took us 2 full seasons. It started we did it in 3 phases. Phase 1 was the new bubble. There were and the most complete phase really happened last fall and in the off season this year. And so we shut down all sorts of areas, and it was a lot of dust and a lot of noise and some inconvenience. But we are now fully done, and it's exciting because the players, when they get back, it's completely done. Our weight room's about 3 times the size of what it was before. Our hydrotherapy area is 3 times as big. We've reconfigured the locker room.
How about the kitchen?
The kitchen and the dining hall. We didn't have that before, and now being able to focus on nutrition is sort of the last part of making sure we've got complete athletes.
Wolf was a little upset about the lack of sweets at the training table.
It's not sweets, David. It's the salt.
Holding, number 49, defense. Have to just to the goal, automatic, first down.
So that's on Andre Kirk, but a lot of players have taken upon themselves to improve their nutrition, and John Brown is one of those guys, but obviously you guys have helped further that as well. And you're seeing a lot of guys change their bodies because of the nutritional system you guys have in place now.
The nutritional system and also the strength and conditioning system, and we see it as a complete thing. And if you think of, we talk about it as, hey, we got 53 Ferraris down there in the locker room. Let's put the racing fuel in them. Let's get the best meals and make sure these guys are eating very healthy. And the culinary team's done a great job of making sure they're doing that.
First and goal at the 3-yard line. And pounding between the tackles, Darren Reeves, and the Cardinals keep him from getting into the end zone. Bring up 3rd down and goal.
So, Michael, you've been out to training camp often, almost every day. I see you out there. Who's impressed you?
I think number 1, Carson. The Honey Badger's just been off the charts. You look at John Brown.
Number 77 has recorded as an eligible receiver. 77.
JJ's done a great job. You look at that defensive line, the offensive line, the left side of our offensive line. I think we could, we're going to have a running game. Yeah, it's exciting. Jonathan Cooper coming back. So many.
2nd and goal. And a touchdown for Darren Reeves. Now you mentioned that offensive line. Jared Valdir last year, Mike Upati this year, and Michael, you've been around this organization obviously your whole life, and going back to Deerdorf and company. I mean, this has the makings of being a terrific offensive line.
No question in my mind. It feels very much like that. There's a confidence. We've got to just make sure we stay healthy through the preseason. And what I've seen both on the offense and the defensive line, and then you look at our tight ends, guys. Yeah. I mean, that was an area of concern in the years past. It's an area of strength this year.
Michael, we might actually keep 5 tight ends. If you listen to BA said, I'm going to keep the best 53 players that we have on this team, and if I have to take from other positions, well then so be it. He said we got 5 tight ends right now, and they like all of them.
Michael, thanks so much for coming by. Really appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Dave. Thanks, Ron.
Thank you.
Arizona Cardinals president Michael Bidwell. Cardinals trail 31-10. So the Chiefs in command 31-10. Let's find out more about Mike Upati through our Zoom lens presented by Hyundai, proud partner of the Arizona Cardinals. Upati, the new starting left guard, 3 Pro Bowls with the San Francisco 49ers, a mid-first round draft pick back in 2010. He's a mauler, wouldn't you say?
Just massive, massive. That 331 is a little light. You could cook a turkey in his belly button.
I'll tell him you said that. Jackson Shipley, undrafted rookie from Texas, on the return. Across the 20, penalty marker is thrown down. But I think with Beldier and Upati on that left side, the Cardinals are more than set.
Number 71 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Question is that right side. Can Jonathan Cooper step up? And who will be the Cardinals' right tackle? Cardinals down midway through the third, 31-10.
You know, for me, growing up playing the position helps a lot. I can relate to what they're going through, some of the things they are doing or see within the game. But, you know, it's been fun. Sometimes I have to watch myself, especially when I got Mike Iupati. That's a big human being. So when I yell at him, I have to stand back a little bit.
That's Harold Goodwin, who is the offensive coordinator and offensive line coach. But he's more than just a line coach, as Robert Hughes gets the carry here and doesn't get much. Goody, as he is known, is getting a chance to call plays. Now, he called offensive plays in the fourth quarter of last year's, or the fourth game of last year's preseason, and he's been calling plays in this game since the start of the second quarter. He'll call plays in week 2, and then he'll also call the entire fourth preseason game. And Bruce Arians wouldn't do this just to say, I want to give my buddy a chance. He's doing it because he believes that Harold Goodwin has a future as not only a play caller, but as a head coach.
He's trying to get him reps, trying to build that resume just a little bit.
Here's Logan Thomas firing, and Jackson Shipley, who's caught everything in training camp, gets a reception here in a preseason game and a pickup of about 20.
Well, once again, what a nice job of reading the coverage and seeing coverage as well. Seeing that he's got man right here, and he leads Shipley beautifully. That is an excellent throw on the in route right there by Logan Thomas. Again, I think Logan Thomas has looked really, really good.
First down at the 32-yard line. Robert Hughes, who plays fullback, but they want to give him some carries to see if we can do it running back. Burst straight ahead of the 36 for about 4. Wolf, when you're Harold Goodwin and you haven't had a lot of experience calling plays, now you're getting a chance here in preseason. What's the biggest challenge when it's something you're just not used to doing?
I think more than anything else is just getting into a rhythm here. And again, he's working with second and third team guys, fourth team guys in some situations. It's just getting into a rhythm. I think BA, for the most part, is a grandmaster guru sensei when it comes to the rhythm of a game. That's the hardest thing because it's preseason and the intensity level isn't what it should be, number one. And number two, you got to remember there's no game planning whatsoever, David.
I was talking with Harold as Hughes gets to the 40 for 4 yards, and he said one of the challenges for him last year when he called plays for the first time in an NFL game was which hash mark is the ball on? Because I can't call certain formations if I'm in a short side of the field situation, right?
Yeah, and not only that, too, when I talk about the intensity level, I'm talking about his intensity level as a play caller. You're not locked in as much because you haven't done anything. You haven't game planned. And that was the other thing BA said. BA was talking about the fact that he wanted Goody to actually go through the process of game planning.
31-10, Kansas City on top of Arizona. 5.5 remaining in the third. Find the Valley's best entertainment at the 3 Gila River destinations. Visit winGilaRiver.com. Third down and 2 for Logan Thomas and the Arizona offense. See if Thomas can pick this up. He's had some good and bad moments so far here tonight. And Thomas finds the open man. It's used for a first down. Slides out of bounds at the 48-yard line.
Now you gotta like that. Logan Thomas working the hot side. This is a hot throw, what BA was talking about, right? Now all of a sudden he's throwing into the blitz. He's got a hot read. Robert Hughes recognizes the blitz, looks for the ball, and Logan Thomas with an accurate throw, operating.
And we know that Andre Ellington is going to be the starter at tailback. There have been some other names of free agent running backs that could end up on the Cardinals roster, but Robert Hughes is battling for a spot. And question is, do the Cardinals keep a traditional fullback like Paul Lasike, who's a rookie from BYU, or do they go with a hybrid Hughes who can play fullback or running back? They'd like to use their tight ends as fullback sometimes.
Watch this right here. Look at Britton Golden come in and get a hat on the safety right there, leading Robert Hughes up through the hole. That's classic BA. Has his wide receivers actually blocking at the point of attack.
2nd and 3. Hughes again. And keeps the feet moving. As close to the first down at the 37-yard line. You got Cameron Bradfield. And on the offensive line, Anthony Steen as well. DJ Humphries continuing to work at right tackle. Hughes shaken up, so the CK will come into the game. Ramik Wilson banged up for Kansas City.
How about this right here? A little dirt work out of Robert Hughes in this offensive line. Running the ball in between the tackles. This again is where the Arizona Cardinals really need to improve. And I realize you got a lot of guys in the game right now that might not be here week 1 of the regular season. There's one guy, DJ Humphries, I promise you will be there. Big Paul Lasike right next to him.
Well, no question, the Cardinals have to improve running the ball. 31st last year in the NFL, 82 yards per game.
No sleep till run the ball. I mean, that's what it comes down to. You have to get better in that area. And then, David, that's when we're going to see Bruce Arians and all of his goodness as a play caller, because he loves play action, and that's where the shots down the field come. The deep in route, almost 20 yards downfield. The 7, which is the corner, the post, the 9.
Hughes back in for 3rd down and 1 at the 37. And some pushing and shoving under the pile. And again, at 250 pounds, it's not that difficult for Logan Thomas to get a yard.
That's a bull on parade. I mean, he's going to get that every time, unless you get some unbelievable penetration at the point of attack, which rarely is going to happen on a guy like Logan Thomas. He's going to convert that 3rd and short.
So a fresh set of downs on the Kansas City 35. Here's Hughes again. And can't rip through an arm tackle by Vaughn Martin.
Running the ball is an attitude, David. It is an attitude. I mean, I don't know if you've got a 13-year-old in the house, David. I don't know if you've got a teenager. You know, the attitude that they have sometimes, the hormones, raging. That's exactly what you need from your front 7. Not to act like a 13-year-old, but to have an attitude up front.
Both my teenagers are probably watching, so I will refrain from comment. Gerald Christian, Mr. Irrelevant, with the catch and a 1st down. The last pick in the NFL draft gets that moniker, being Mr. Irrelevant, out of Louisville. And he could be that 5th tight end that makes the roster.
Look at this. Just operate, Logan Thomas. Are you kidding me? Go with a play action, turn around, find the tight end. Bada bing, bada boom. Making it look easy.
The pitch to Hughes. Brought down in the backfield. Desmond Moses with the tackle for Kansas City. And so Hughes will come to the sideline. Paul Lasike will come into the game. Take a look at DJ Humphries and the work he's doing at right tackle for the Cardinals.
Nice little pass set right there. Picking up. Do you see that? Picked up the blitzer on the inside. Let the outside guy go. Gets off the ball. And the slime block by DJ Humphries. Look at the movement at the point of attack. Man, you love to see that. Grow strong, Grasshopper.
2nd down and 14. Here's Lasike. He rams into 2 defenders and plows to the 20. The question for DJ Humphries is, with the uncertainty of the Bobby Massey situation, can Humphries do that against starting defensive linemen in the NFL in the regular season?
Well, of course, that remains to be seen. But again, it is preseason, and it sure beats the alternative of getting stuffed at the point of attack by a guy who's not even going to play in the league, maybe.
Humphries was the 24th pick in the draft, and there was some that thought if he stayed at Florida one more year, he would have been maybe the first tackle taken next year, a top 5 or top 10 pick. Had some injuries at Florida, and has been banged up some here in preseason. Thomas taking off at the 15. Logan inside the 10. Out of bounds at the 5. First and goal for the Cardinals.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I love this. I love this by Logan Thomas. Pull the ball down and run the ball, baby. You gotta love having the option of a quarterback that can, every now and then, make a play with his legs.
Take a look at the Cardinals' red zone efficiency presented by CDW. Cardinals are 1 of 2 in terms of touchdowns in the red zone, 2 for 2 with the field goal by Catanzaro in the first quarter. Here's Hughes, the final seconds of the third quarter, and he gets maybe a half a yard. So we go to the fourth at University of Phoenix Stadium. The Cardinals looking to punch it in and get more points. The Cardinals' first-team offense and first-team defense look terrific, but they trail by 21 going to the final frame. The Cardinals down as we start the fourth quarter, but a chance to get a touchdown. Second and goal at the Kansas City 4. Robert Hughes back in the game, and Hughes stood up and pushed back. May have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage before his forward progress was stopped. Desmond Moses, the first man there for the Chiefs. So third and goal. This is good work here for Logan Thomas, Wolf, because you could get him out on the outside. He can run the ball, or you could just have him drop back and see what he can do in a straight drop situation here in third and goal.
I would be surprised if they didn't try to get Logan Thomas at some point out on the edge and give him that run pass option.
And they're going to go empty here on third and goal. Thomas from the pocket and throws to Golden, who is in for the touchdown. Good catch by Golden. Did a great job to make sure that he got that ball across.
What a nice job by Logan Thomas, taking his time, looking for the open receiver, finding Britton Golden. Watch the return route right down here. See him go inside like he's going to run a slant, and right down towards the line of scrimmage, parallel to the line of scrimmage, I should say. That's a return route right there. Great patience.
We'll review the previous play.
Yeah, you know, you wonder when he turned over there, did he have possession? Was he still juggling the ball when he hit the pylon?
Great patience nonetheless by Logan Thomas to wait for Britton Golden to come out of that break. Boy, there's no way. That's incomplete.
No, it'll be fourth down when we come back. So the ruling of the field was a touchdown. Let's see if it got overturned by replay. Did they have enough video evidence to overturn it? It seemed like they did, which would then make it fourth down.
After reviewing the play, the pass is incomplete. The receiver was losing possession of the ball and was out of bounds when he made possession. Fourth down.
I like this, though.
The
They're going to put Logan Thomas back in the game to go for it on fourth down.
It was a good throw by Logan Thomas. Again, this should have been a touchdown.
You got to complete the catch. Got to maintain it all the way to the ground.
Absolutely. Britton Golden did not do that. This is not a surprise at all right here. Running the offense back out of the field. DA's like, we're going to get 6 here.
Let's see. They had him throw from the pocket on that last play. Let's see if they get him on the edge here on fourth down. Well, Thomas throwing from the pocket and throws a strike, but is it a touchdown? No. The catch is made by Ryan Spadola, but he is short of the goal line. So Kansas City takes over on downs. Now, is that on the receiver or is that on the quarterback?
Well, once again, they showed blitz and then they bailed, and you can see BA's already talking to his young quarterback. Hey, Logan, you know what? You almost had it. You could have done a little bit better. We'll talk about it when we watch film.
Dave Pash and Ron Wolfley back in our Ford broadcast booth, brought to you by your Arizona Ford dealers. Aaron Murray in a quarterback, former Georgia Bulldog. Spencer Ware in the backfield on first down. And Ware out near the 5. Cardinals trailing 31-10.
Boy, I saw big Rodney Gunter get off the ground at the point of attack right there. Doing a nice job taking on a couple of blocks. The kid from Haines City, Florida. Population 13,000.
And then he went to Delaware State, was a 4th-round draft choice, 116th overall by the Cardinals. They love his strength, and he's right on target, slamming down the quarterback for a safety. Aaron Murray gets pinned by Gunter, and the Cards get 2 points.
You gotta love it. How's that taste, Rodney Gunter? Delaware State comes unblocked. You gotta make that play. When the butt guts don't block you, you gotta make that play. Well done, Rodney Gunter. Living on the outskirts of Haines City, Florida. The Swamp Thing. You watch this right here, David. It's very interesting because they squeeze it down here on the offensive line, and they also squeeze it this way on the offensive line. That tells me somebody blew it, but there's Rodney right there. You watch him come clean. You got to make that play when they don't block you, and he did.
Chiefs electing to punt. You can punt or get the free kick from the 20-yard line after a safety. And here's Jackson Shipley. Makes a nice move at the 35-yard line. Shipley being chased, crosses midfield. And Shipley inside the 40, out of bounds at the 34. Now Shipley may not make the Cardinals 53 given their depth at wide receiver, but he may get a shot somewhere in the NFL.
Well, if he keeps making plays like that, he definitely will. This is a great job taking it up the field and then breaking it back the other way, right? Look at that little shifty move by Shipley. And off to the races he goes. Special teams so critical for the Cardinals, and I think they really can improve on punt return and kickoff return. The return game, they've got to get better. It controls field position like nothing else.
56-yard return. Philip Sims in the game now at quarterback for the Cardinals. Starts with good field position at the Chief 34. Off play action. Sims forced out of the pocket and lobs it into the end zone for Shipley. Shipley caught it, but he was out of bounds. I checked that Spadola. Ryan Spadola with the catch. But Philip Sims, who was a very highly recruited player coming out of high school, went to Alabama, got beat out by A.J. McCarron. It was between the two of them for the starting quarterback job. McCarron was selected, and Alabama went on to win a national championship. Sims eventually ended up at Virginia and then finally at Winston-Salem State. And there are his numbers from last season. He was not drafted. Got a strong arm. Bruce Arians says that when he makes a mistake in practice, it doesn't bother him. That might bother him, almost getting sacked. And he gets out of there and throws an incompletion trying to hit Spadola again. Desmond Moses missed the sack as the left tackle, Nate Isles, got beat that time for the Cardinals.
Boy, Nate Isles right there has got to tape a little bit deeper set. And you can see it. I mean, Philip Sims should have been waxed right in the back. Somehow, some way. That sixth sense, that quarterback sensed it. Did you see that, David? Pulled it down and avoided that rush. That's rare right there, to have that kind of sixth sense.
Yeah, you got to have that clock in your head, right? As a quarterback as well. Sims Again, leaving the pocket. Incomplete. Trying for Spadola again. So a 3 and out. And Drew Butler's going to get a chance now. Butler is battling. Actually, they're going to try a field goal.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, 34-yard line. So you're talking 51, 52-yard try.
Bring the Catman on. Let him unleash the Kraken.
I thought for some reason they're at the 39, but nope, they're at the 34. So this is definitely a Cat and Zero's range on the Cardinals late getting Troy Nicholas on the field. Play clock down to 2. And I got to burn a timeout.
Timeout, Arizona. Second team timeout.
There were 2 players late.
A 30-second timeout.
Getting on the field. One of them was Troy Nicholas. I wonder if they weren't sure, hey, do we go with our first team field goal? Or because we're in the 4th quarter, is it just the guys that are in the game? Could that be why there was some confusion?
Right? That's our second.
Peter, turn your mic off.
Pete is just broadcasting.
Preseason for everybody. It's a witching hour for everybody.
I mean, he's going to broadcast more in the next 12, 13 minutes than we are.
I'll definitely talk more than I will over the course of a telecast working with you. Your Arizona Ford dealers are proud to announce the all-new Pass Punt Kick sweepstakes for the 2015 Cardinals regular season, where you can win a brand new 2015 Ford F-150. Visit your local FordDealers.com and stay tuned for information and registration details.
What are you saying, verbose?
A 52-yard attempt by Chandler Catanzaro with Drew Butler to hold. And it is going to come up short. It's blocked.
We have a missed field goal. By rule, the ball will be placed at the spot of the kick. First down.
Drew Butler was immediately signaling to the sideline that it got deflected.
Well, that is going to cost somebody dearly. You take a look at it right here, I believe. Yeah, you got penetration up the middle.
David Irving.
And that, you got to put that on Cat. You got to get more underneath that. You know, a lot of times you're going to hit a little bit higher up on the ball when you've got a long field goal. Obviously, that time he drilled it right into the line for the most part.
So Kansas City gets the ball at the spot of the attempt. So it's the 42-yard line. Aaron Murray was just sacked for safety. Hands it off to Spencer Ware. He struggles but maintains his balance and gets about 5 yards to the 47-yard line.
Boy, there was some brutality down there, wasn't there? My goodness. Somebody filled a hole and got turned into a hole at the point of attack.
He had pound cake in there again, Edwin Jackson. Second and 5. Ware again. First down to the 45-yard line of Arizona, where the tackle was made by Shaquille Richardson. Now Carson Palmer was perfect in his short stint on the field, and right now he's standing by to talk with Jody Jackson.
That's right, Dave. Carson, you were perfect. 4 for 4, 77 yards. But first I want to ask you just what you've been through coming off the knee injury. I know it's a long rehab. What were your emotions today in coming out onto this field?
You know, just very excited all day. You wait around till 6 p.m. You're used to playing at 1. It's nice when you play at 1. You wake up and eat breakfast and you go. I was very excited all day and just excited to get out here with these guys in front of our fans and play in this stadium. But once I got here, it was just a very focused day. You know, I knew I wasn't going to get very many reps. Just wanted to be perfect and execute the reps we got, and I think we did a good job of that.
The big play to Andre Ellington, a 57-yard gain on that play. Just what was key in that developing? I know you had good protection.
Great protection, and Andre was key. I mean, I got on him a little bit because I was making fun of him for getting ran down by the nose guard, but he just needs more reps. That's normally a touchdown for him. He's so explosive and quick, and he's mismatched when he gets a safety on him. And NBA did a good job of getting a safety on him. He won his matchup, but I'm still going to wear him out for getting caught down there by the 10-yard line.
He did eventually get in, and how good was it to see the red zone offense come together? Again, the protection, moving the ball as far as the run game when you've got Upati on the line now. What did you see during that red zone possession?
Well, that's been an emphasis, is running the ball in the red zone. We didn't feel like we did a very good job of that last year. We've been focused on that really since OTA started, and our red zone run game needs to get better. And I think we did a pretty good job on our few opportunities we got down there running it.
You've looked very sharp. What do you feel you need to work on before September 13th against the Saints?
A lot. We've got a lot of work to do, a long way to go. It feels like we've been in training camp forever. It's been 3 weeks for us since we started early with the quarterbacks and the young guys. But there's a ton of things to get better at, a lot of things to work on, and we'll get back at it on Monday.
Anybody young and up and coming in the receiving corps impress you? We know obviously about the targets like Fitz and John Brown, and eventually when Michael Floyd gets back out there. But what about some of these young guys?
I'm very excited about JJ. He's a smaller guy. He's an explosive guy, and he struggled a little bit in OTAs, but he showed up a new person in training camp. And from day one of training camp, I challenged him just to continue what he did from the first day to the next day to the next day. And to be honest, he hasn't had a bad day yet. I keep waiting for it to happen. He is young. He is a rookie. But he's been very, very impressive to me since we got going here a couple weeks ago.
All right, great sign. Thanks, Carson.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, Carson Palmer. And we'll take it to break right now.
(31-12), Kansas City leads after a Cardinals safety. Our thanks to Carson Palmer for spending some time with Jody Jackson. Carson entering his 13th year in the league, third with the Cardinals. On first down for the Chiefs at the Cardinal 34, they run the football. And Darren Reeves, who scored a touchdown earlier in the half, makes it to the 27 for a 7-yard gain.
This is blood work right here by the Kansas City Chiefs. A lot of work right down the middle of the field, in between the teeth, both hashes. Got a Cardinal down here.
Yeah, Brandon Person, backup safety, shaken up. I thought what Jody asked for, I was interested to see Carson's reaction to Jody's question of what did it feel like today, because there's going to be that other moment in the regular season opener where you probably have the same feelings, but still, even though it's preseason, you haven't been on the field since week 10 last year, and he had those emotions, right? Had those typical game day emotions. It was very hard to wait around for the night game, and he has been maybe the MVP of camp.
Just looked phenomenal, really has. And once again, you look at Carson Palmer, he's prototypical in terms of size, his arm strength. It really looks like he's putting a lot of zip on the ball. I mean, this guy is prototypical when it comes to the tangibles, but the intangibles, I think, really is what has separated Carson Palmer over the last 2 years. And the huge reasons why they've won, what, 13 of the last 15 games he's started?
Yeah, 6-0 last year as the Cardinals starter.
He knows the offense, David, the way B.A. knows the offense. He's the first guy in and typically the last to leave. The guy is a pro. He's accountable above all. He's dependable as well. Not only that, he's flat out tough. A Southern Cal guy with the fancy hair. Let me tell you something. That was a shock to me to learn that. He's a tough guy.
You got something against USC guys or what?
Well, they got the feathered hair and it's always perfect.
Reeves brought down inside the 20. It's a first down for Kansas City.
You'd probably love to have that hair, wouldn't you?
Oh, you kidding me?
You'd look weird though.
With hair?
Yeah, I think you'd look odd right there. I don't know. I kind of like you just the way you are, Dave.
Yeah, you're kind of used to seeing me with no hair. It started going at a young age, Wolf. This is our 11th year together.
Oh, buddy, you got hair. It's just not on your head.
Leave that to the imagination of the folks listening at home. As the Chiefs enter the red zone, leading 31-12. And down to the 16-yard line is Darren Reeves. A gain of 3 on the play. And a guy that's been in there a lot tonight, who we haven't said his name. but I think it's a name that Cardinal fans are going to hear during the regular season. I'm going out on a limb. Undrafted rookie from Northern Iowa, Xavier Williams at nose, number 69 in red. He's been out there a lot. He was actually out there before, if I'm not mistaken. I thought I saw him out there before Alameda Ta'amu at nose, after Corey Peters.
Well, I'm not liking what I'm seeing out of the defensive line on this possession.
2nd and 8. Ware powers to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Then gets shoved back. Harold Jones-Corte was in there. But you're with me on Xavier Williams, right? I mean, you think that he's got a really good chance to make the team.
Absolutely. I mean, he's like a watermelon with bungee cords hanging from it. He's round.
Got long
arms. Yeah. Really has a unique structure. But again, this defensive line, the guys that are out there, you got Xavier Williams, a guy they love. Rodney Gunter's out there. Alameda Ta'amu has been in there. The Chiefs have been running the ball on this possession.
3rd and 6. They'll throw it here. Murray. And there was contact in the secondary, but no flag. It's incomplete. Shaquille Richardson met the receiver that time. Looked like he got there before the ball did, as Luckett was the intended receiver.
Yeah, it sure did. And something tells me that if that were a regular season game, maybe the dirty laundry would have been flying. I think Pete Morelli's crew, I think they've seen enough.
After you said that he was going to be talking, he hasn't said a word.
I know. Just wrong.
And Santos puts it through to make it 34-12. 6:42 on the clock here in the 4th. (34-12) Kansas City leads Arizona. Let's look at our Toro ground stats. Toro count on it. We're actually going to flash back to the Cardinals-Chiefs game last regular season, December 7th, when Kerwin Williams had the only 100-yard rushing game for a Cardinal back last year. Kerwin, because of the injuries at that position, was the featured back in the wild card game at Carolina. Had only 23 rushing yards on 10 carries, battling for position on the 53-man roster, with Andre Ellington likely to be the starter.
The Cardinals coaches love Kerwin Williams as well.
Had some fumbles though in camp. Got to protect the ball. Here's Shipley on the kick return, and he's out to the 20-yard line. So another series for Phillip Sims at quarterback. You just get another cup of coffee?
I did, as a matter of fact, David.
You realize you don't have to wake up tomorrow morning, right?
You're boring me. Kerwin Williams is a guy that, once again, I mean, he's very, very good with the ball in his hands when you hand it off to him. He struggles sometimes in terms of receiving. And that is not the type of back typically that BA covets. Now, he does like Kerwin Williams a lot because of his ability to stick his face into the fire, pick up blitzers, and run the ball tough in between the tackles. But, man, if you can't catch the ball as a running back in this offense, that really is a detriment to you.
And BA drafted him in Indianapolis. He was a 7th-round pick in 2013 out of Utah State. And then Arians and company signed him with the Cardinals and showed flashes last year. Was put in a tough spot.
I love him.
One NFL game in 2013 with the Colts.
I love his toughness. That is a guy, you watch him play the game of football. Kerwin Williams is not afraid. Stick his face right in the fan.
No, Paul Lasike hurdles a Chief and gets out to the 27-yard line. He's an athletic guy. Was a great rugby player. He's from New Zealand. His uncle's Vi Sikahema. Good bloodlines.
Oh, my goodness. Did you ever see his brow, David? It's like a frying pan.
Who, Paul or Vi?
Paul Lasike. He's got the perfect brow for a fullback. Even though BA will not call him a fullback. Call him a running back that just happens to be big.
He's lined up as a flanker here on 3rd down and 3. And Sims' pass is incomplete. He was trying for Ifani Moma. Looked like Moma should have caught that. 4th down.
You know, it's interesting, David, with 5 minutes and 41 seconds to go here. This is what preseason is all about. It's the reason why I love it. You got 5 minutes and 41 seconds to go in a game that isn't going to count really for anything. And there's guys out here right now fighting for jobs. Every play is critical.
Well, think over the course of the history of the NFL as Luckett gets past the 40 on the return and a big hit by Stephon Taylor at the 44. How many guys that played in the 4th quarter of preseason games when the stands are a third full and a lot of people have turned off the television set that went on to have long NFL careers?
Yes.
Guys that weren't drafted, that ended up winning Super Bowls. And obviously we had one here that led the Cardinals to a Super Bowl in Kurt Warner, who was not drafted, played in his fair share of 4th quarter preseason games before he hit the big time. First down at the Chief 44, 5:31 on the clock. They're going to keep it on the ground here with Reeves. And he's to midfield. Glenn Carson on the stop. Carson, who played 5 games last year. He's out of Penn State. They like him at inside linebacker. Will there be a spot for him on the 53?
That's going to be difficult. That's going to be a difficult proposition here again. How many backers are you going to keep? The defensive line is so deep right now. Xavier Williams, Rodney Gunter, Alameda Ta'amu. These guys all playing defensive line, and the Chiefs are running the ball very well. Preston Buckner is going to be up in arms.
This time Reeves is knocked down after a short gain by Jones Quartet. Well, we know that Kevin Minter is going to start at one inside linebacker position, but the question is, will Sean Weatherspoon be healthy? You see the tackle there by Jones Quartet. Weatherspoon, a free agent signing. He's on a 1-year contract. When healthy, when he's with Atlanta after being selected in the 1st round out of Missouri, Weatherspoon was a factor. He made a lot of plays.
Game changer, David.
If they can get him healthy, and that's a question mark right now. The Cardinals, you would think, would be fine at inside linebacker, but if not, there's an open spot. Is it going to be Demons? Is it going to be Glenn Carson? Do the Cardinals look to another roster for a player, or wait till cuts if Weatherspoon won't be ready for week 1? They're hoping he will play sometime in the preseason.
Here's the one thing I do know. Bruce Arians, he's going to keep the best 53. And this is something you and I were talking about, David, off the air, but he doesn't care. If that means he's going to keep 5 tight ends and only 3 running backs, he's going to do it. He's going to keep the best football players on this roster. I know right now, you look at the defensive line for the Arizona Cardinals, this is without a doubt probably the deepest room on the team, maybe outside of wide receiver. I think you could look at the wide receivers and say that's a very deep position. The defensive line here, there are 9 guys, David, and you're probably only going to keep 7, and that's a lot when you run a 34 defense.
But you're thin at inside linebacker, especially if Weatherspoon isn't 100%. Hopefully, by him resting, he's ready to go, whether that's in the 3rd preseason game against the Raiders or the 1st regular season game against New Orleans, as Rodney Gunter made a play, one of those defensive linemen you're talking about, making that unit so deep for the Cardinals. But inside linebacker, that is a position of concern.
No doubt about it. Look, that is the tip of the spear. For me, my biggest concern, the front 7. How is the front 7 going to play for the Cardinals this year?
Alameda Ta'amu and Xavier Williams out there together. And they team up on the tackle.
Boy, look at that. Look at Alameda Ta'amu. 66. Right in the middle of your screen. The big man. And I mean big. You ever stood next to him, David?
Hey, if I stand behind him, you can't see me.
I promise you, man. That is one large human being. He might look like 3 pounds of lard.
Warning.
What do you call him? Alameda, I'm on you? That's what your nickname is for him?
Yeah.
It's appropriate. (34-12). Cardinals trail Kansas City at the 2-minute mark. Time for the SRP Power Performance presented by SRP, delivering more than power. Logan Thomas showed some positive signs here tonight. Made some good throws, some good reads too. Wolf?
No doubt about it right there on the hot read, going through his progressions as well.
Xavier Williams, Rodney Gunter swallow the Kansas City running back that time. Williams was there on the handoff
Timeout, Arizona.
to Spencer Ware.
Third and final team timeout. A 30-second
Well, let's clean up the Logan Thomas. So, Wolf, what does he have to show for the Cardinals to keep him as the
Consistency.
number 3 quarterback this year?
Yeah, consistency, David. See, that's the problem right there. Again, a quarterback, it's not just about going out there and going through a progression, finding an open guy and throwing the ball. A guy like B.A. wants to see Logan Thomas understand the offense completely, especially at this point. He's been around now. He's been around this system. He's been through OTAs. He's been through mini camps, been through training camps, played in games. At some point in time, you got to show the coach that you understand the offense. You understand your responsibilities, your hot reads. You understand protections. You show progression in your progressions. You got to show that. You got to do it consistently. I don't think he has, based on listening to Bruce Arians talk about him.
Shipley signals for the fair catch and has it at the 11-yard line. By the way, the guy that Logan Thomas was talking to on the sideline, we haven't mentioned his name, but people watching might be like, man, that guy looks familiar. It's Jermaine Gresham, who the Cardinals signed. And the Cardinals expect to play a role this year at tight end. The question is, with Fells and how he's played, Nicholas, the type of tight end that he is, you know, can Jermaine Gresham catch 60 passes like he did in Cincinnati last year? He's coming off back surgery. Spent his rookie year with Carson Palmer when Palmer was the quarterback for the Bengals.
Herniated disc. Had that surgery in March. Slow to recover right now. The Cardinals are going to bring him along slowly. They need him in September, not now.
First down on the Cardinal 11. Sims airing it out, going for Moma. Incomplete. But he was interfered with. Sanders Cummings defending. And that, for all intents and purposes, is a tight end. He was a receiver, converted to tight end.
Pass interference, number 26. Defense, automatic. First down.
And Cummings was doing everything he could to make sure that Moma didn't catch the ball.
Yeah, Ifeani Moma, talking about a guy who's 6'7". I mean, he's got great size, and you can see right there, clearly interference, a good call. But hey, you know what? Coaches will look at that and say, hey, you did everything you were supposed to do. You're running the right route. You're open down the field. You went up to get the ball. You were interfered with. That's a plus. And these are the little things that you're looking for.
Pressure from behind. Sims spins away from a sack and throws it out of play. Second down, minute 29 remaining.
I think Ifeani Moma has already made this team. Now, I could be dead wrong on that, David, but he is the one guy in that tight end room that is an absolute mismatch. He does have that freakish quality to him where now all of a sudden he's running down the seam at 6'7" with those long arms, David. I mean, that presents, I'm not saying he's Jimmy Graham. He is not Jimmy Graham, okay? Hear me well on that. But that presents a Jimmy Graham-like problem to defenses.
Sims lobbing it downfield. The pass on the money. Travis Harvey made the catch and brought down inside the 15-yard line. I'm with you, though. I do think Moma will make the team. I think that's one of the reasons why he's been out here with several groups tonight, including the fourth quarter group, is that Pass was well thrown by Phillip Sims.
How about that throw on the run by Phillip Sims? Wow, that is good.
See if the Cardinals can get points here. End the night. First down at the Kansas City 12. Another pass play. Sims to Moma. Inside the 5.
This is why he's out there. I mean, he needs every rep he can possibly get. They got this guy at the veteran combine. And you know from day one, Ifeanyi Moma in training camp flashed immediately.
Sims, end zone pass, broke it up. Incomplete. Intended for Harvey.
Every catch that Ifeanyi Moma makes is a victory. That means he ran the correct route, was in the area he's supposed to be in. That's a nice play right there. You want to talk about breaking on the ball.
Question is blocking for Moma.
Yeah, but you know, I think with all the other tight ends they have in that room, and yeah, you'd like to see a block. I see that guy being a guy,
a lot, right?
Yeah, I see that guy as a guy you're going to split out into the slot and say, you know what, run down the seam.
Well, you got Darren Fells, who a lot of the Cardinal coaches think might be the most improved player on the team. Moma interfered with again, this time in the end zone.
That's a touchdown. That's a touchdown if Thomas doesn't interfere.
26 defense. Foul occurred in the end zone. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic. First down.
Nice toss by Phillip Sims right there.
And in both interferences, he's been tackled.
Yes. Again, that's the mismatch. That's the mismatch that the Cardinals love. How about Ifeanyi Moma in the red zone? Just be dependable with the hands, know what to do. You're going to get opportunities to score touchdowns.
I think your guy Lasike is going to get a chance here. Wolf, first and goal on the 1. Nope, Sims, little back shoulder throw incomplete, trying to hit Travis Harvey. Maybe now they'll give Lasike a chance to ram it between the tackles for a yard and get Pater.
You know what he ought to do? He ought to take his helmet off and look at B.A., show him that forehead. Maybe then he'll give him the ball.
Now on
it's
that
a nice throw.
Yeah, well, I was going to say on that, is Harvey supposed to turn the other way based on where that ball was placed?
Well,
a back shoulder
it didn't
throw?
look like a back shoulder to me.
So Lasike and Robert Hughes in the backfield together here, a second down and goal at the 1.
Pete Carroll throw a slant right here.
You had to go there, didn't you? Just to rub it in. Sims, incomplete. Try to hit Trevor Harmon. So now it's third down and goal at the 1-yard line.
Oh, B.A. tried to do it, didn't he?
I think he'll throw it again. He just brought Moma back in, brought another receiver in. Well, this is a tryout for Phillip Sims.
Absolutely.
So, or he could just have brought more receivers in just to spread things out and then hand it off. Nope. Going to be an empty set. See what Sims can do. Sims. And it is caught for a touchdown by Travis Harvey. By one official saying, I don't know that he caught it. There's a flag down. Sarah Thomas, the line judge, said
Holding,
touchdown.
Number 44 defense. Penalties decline. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Looked like there was some discussion as to whether it was a catch to begin with, but Thomas was right there looking down the line.
A nice job by Phillip Sims right here, trying to work the right side. You can see him pull it down. Now he's using his legs, throwing the ball. Bernie Kosar type delivery right there. All jacked up. That's right, Phillip. Get it done. Man, that felt good, didn't it, rookie?
So Catanzaro on for the extra point. 33-yard extra point. I think there's only been one miss so far through the first week of preseason on these longer extra points?
Well, you look at it from the 15 in the NFL last year, 95 over, just over 95% of the time, the kick is good.
Just makes it a little bit more interesting, though, that it is further.
Well, it drives me crazy, the pomp and circumstance of it all. So what? An extra point. It's kind of like you drive into a city, you conquer the city, David, and what do you do after you conquer a city? You know what you do? You have a parade. The pomp and circumstance of it all. So that's what I'd like to see.
So the extra point is the old extra point is a parade?
Metaphorically speaking, it is a parade. The pomp and circumstance. We conquered you. We scored a touchdown. We took the ball. We drove it down the field. We scored a touchdown. Now we're going to have a parade.
With that passing touchdown by Philip Sims, Wells Fargo donates $500 to local public schools. Wells Fargo, together will go far. 7-play, 89-yard drive that lasted a minute 15. And the 1-yard touchdown pass by Sims, 34-19. I don't know, I kind of like it. It's just another play that we'll have in an NFL game, especially late, that will be more meaningful. And I think you're going to see teams that will go for 2. If you get an extra point blocked, you can now return it for 2 points.
Yeah, because there was so much wrong with the game last year. We can't have pomp and circumstance in the game of football. You score a touch, especially for the home crowd. Score a touchdown, run out the extra point, field goal. Come on.
Catanzaro kicking off. Here's Luckett. And he has passed the 20-yard line. Arizona Cardinals had a special visitor at training camp this week. 100-year-old Delma Graham. She was up walking around and talking to players. Here she's talking to Coach Arians.
She was sharp, David. Can you imagine that? Being 100 years old. The things that Delma has seen, right?
Yeah.
They were riding horses, David. They were riding horses, and suddenly somebody said, you know what do you say we put wheels on this steel box?
And I'll bet she could tell you that entire 47 championship team roster. She's been a longtime Cardinal fan. Great to have her out at camp. So the Cardinals lose the preseason opener of 2015, but Carson Palmer and the first team offense and Tyrann Mathieu in the starting defense for the Cardinals both looked outstanding in limited work. When we come back, we'll wrap things up. Look ahead to preseason game number 2, a week from tonight here against the Chargers.